What's going on, people, and welcome back today. Today I've got a new one for you. Something I've not done before in this format, and it's basically just going to be after every game week of the Premier League season. I'll do a recap or a review of the games, my thoughts on it. I'm going to go through all the games. Some I might go a bit more in detail than others. If you guys enjoy it, just thought it'd be some new type of content I haven't done before. So first up, to start the season, we had a Friday night kickoff with Liverpool versus Bournemouth. And I got to say, I was very impressed with the tempo, the momentum, the aggression on camera. It's kind of had a bit more of an old school feel to the match. I thought it was a perfect way to start the new season off. It finished 4-2 to Liverpool, but it wasn't all their way. We saw the debut of Ekitike. I was very impressed by what he had to offer. Picked up a goal, obviously. He looks like he's got a good bit about him. I was impressed by his performance. Obviously, they're probably going to have Isak in a few weeks, if not less than that. So they're going to go from strength to strength. Gakpo chipped in with another goal. He had a good season last season and looks like he's continuing it right now. Chiesa finally got on the score sheet. Talks that he might be going, but it was a good moment nonetheless. And then Salah at the end, kind of emphasising the win. But Semenyo picking up 2 goals and everything that went on in the match with him, with the fan. It was good to see him be the goal scorer for them and grabbed a couple in the end. So Bournemouth looked a lot better in this game than I saw from them in the pre-season. And Liverpool are probably favourites to win the league. They are for me anyway. And whilst they won by 2 goals, it wasn't all their way and it wasn't super comfortable. So props to Bournemouth, but Liverpool get it on 4-2. Next up, to start the Saturday games then, we had Aston Villa versus Newcastle in the earlier kickoff. Finished 0-0. Konza got a red card, which it was a red to be fair. Pretty blatant. I didn't watch this live, but I watched the highlights and I feel like Villa didn't really look like themselves. Newcastle were definitely the better team and probably, I think, deserved to win, done enough to win, but just didn't manage to score. With everything that's going on with Isak, I think that shows good character within the squad that they can put in a performance like that, even though they didn't get the win. Because I do feel like they were the better team in this game. But both teams will be frustrated not to get 3 points in this, I'd say, especially Newcastle once Konza got sent off. But I expect these two teams to push on this season. They both got a point from it, but yeah, I think they'll both be pretty disappointed that they only got a point each. So 0-0 Villa at Newcastle. Brighton versus Fulham finished 1-1. And I thought it might go this sort of way with like a tight affair. O'Reilly scored a penalty in the 55th minute. I had to look up who he was. I hadn't ever heard of him. But took his penalty well. And then right at the end, in the 97th minute, Muniz got the equaliser. So Fulham just doing enough there to snatch a point right at the death. From the highlights I saw, it looked like Brighton probably deserved to win it overall. But in the end, Fulham snatched that equaliser and come away with a point. So good starting point for Fulham. They'll be more happy with the result probably than Brighton on the weight and how the game went. But yeah, I think both these teams will be fine this season and will look to push on from this result and get 3 points. So share the spoils in this one. One of the upsets of the opening day, and this is part of the reason that a lot of us love football, and that is the underdog story, the newcomers coming up and doing well. And it was Sunderland 3, West Ham 0. I actually picked West Ham to win this. Even though they're not a great side, I thought the experience and that would get them enough to get the 3 points in this. But fair play to Sunderland, they were at it from the get-go. But the crowd behind them looked pretty easy for them in the end. And I think that's just the buzz of coming up as a new team, the adrenaline. They wanted it, they were hungrier, and it showed on the day. So fair play to Sunderland. I was glad to see that they got a result because got a little bit of a soft spot for them from growing up and them being in the Premier League a lot when I was coming up. Don't know a lot about their players, I've got to be honest, but like I said, from the highlights I saw, they definitely looked all over West Ham. West Ham looked like they struggled and Sunderland deserved it, so fair play to them. Be interesting to see how their season goes. 3-0, great start for them. Tottenham versus Burnley, finished Tottenham 3-0. I think everyone expected Tottenham to win this one. Burnley, Scott Parker, I don't rate as a manager. I think he'll probably be the first manager to get sacked this season. I know they've got promoted and they might not concede a ton, but they did in this one. And I think against the bigger teams, they probably will ship a few goals. And they just don't have the firepower. So expected this result, wasn't sure by how many. Richarlison got a brace, wonders for his season, especially to get 2 in the first opener. And Brennan Johnson chips in with the third. So easy money for Tottenham. Kudus looked very good in this, got 2 assists. And yeah, Burnley look like they're going to have a long, hard season. And I think they'll finish rock bottom, to be honest. So Tottenham with an easy opener in this one, 3-0. Wolves versus Man City. I did pick City to win this. I thought it might be a little bit closer than the scoreline suggested, but City arguably could have had a few more as well. So Wolves, obviously they've sold some key players, the likes of Aït-Nouri, Cunha. They were going to struggle, like it was obvious. I feel like they might do enough to stay up this season, but they definitely lack the firepower. I feel like they need another striker along with Larson. I don't think he's brilliant, to be honest. He's okay, but they're going to need more. Now with Cunha gone and Aït-Nouri, they both chipped in with a lot of goals, especially Cunha. So I'm not convinced that they've got a ton of firepower this year, and there could be problems. So City, Reinders look fantastic. I've seen a little bit of him before at Milan, but I thought like this is the best I've ever seen of him. Quality performance, scored, obviously set it up as well. No fear in how he plays. I like that, the freedom he had. Haaland got off with two goals, and Cherki came in off the bench and scored near the end. So easy result for City. I thought they were very convincing in their passion in the way they played and controlled the game, and Reinders ran that game. City are definitely going to be a challenger this year. I expect them to be. You just never know with Pep what his lineups are going to be, which makes it more interesting because he'll throw a spanner in the works. But strong start from City, and they're top, so they're going to be a problem. 4-0 City. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. I actually watched this one live. I felt Palace were cheated and robbed of a victory. They scored from a free kick, which Eze took, and it was because of a Gueye push on, I think it was Caicedo in the wall, or next to the wall. For me, that was a very, very weak decision. It's Caicedo's fault for not being strong enough. I don't think Gueye really goes out of his way to properly push him out of the way. He's just not strong enough. And for me, I was shocked when they VAR'd it and it stood, because I think Palace have been robbed there. Would not be happy if I was Glasner coming out of that game with a point when I think they should have had 3. I think they were the better side. I don't think Chelsea really turned up. Palmer looked off it. Just think Palace deserved the victory, and they should have got it for me. So Chelsea definitely I feel like they feel lucky to come away with this with a point, how the game played out. But Palace will feel robbed, and I think rightly so. 0-0, but questionable decision there. Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. I was intrigued to see how Forest would do because they had such a great season last year, and they've started off with a bang again. Wood with a brace. He looks in fine form, looks sharp, looks fit, and looks like he's ready to kick on from where he left off. Endoy, the new signing, come in, got a debut goal off the bench. Brentford scored with a penalty with their new striker Thiago, but apart from that, I thought from the passage of play and how the game played out, I think Forest were comfortable the whole time, and they're going to be a problem again if they can keep their players fit. Obviously, they've kept Gibbs White. They did lose Alanga, but this Endoy looks like he could come in and do a different job, but still be a success. So, yeah. Great result for Forest opening up. Brentford, I think, are going to have a long season with the players that have gone. And obviously Thomas Frank at the helm gone now as well. Rico Henry's back, which is nice to see. But I feel like the players they've lost, it's going to be hard for them this season. And they could be in a relegation scrap. But I think they might just do enough. But I think it's going to be a long season for them. But a great result for Forest, 3-1. Manchester United versus Arsenal. I did predict Arsenal to win this. I'm pleased with how we played, other than we didn't score, and I don't want to hear things after the game from fellow United fans at Amorim and United players that we were by far the better team, we were unlucky, and because at the end of the day, football's about results, and we didn't get the result. I didn't expect us to get the result, but the way we played, we should have, but we didn't, and I don't want excuses after the game because of that. So Calafiore scored a bit of a scrappy goal. I don't think Arsenal did a lot in the game. I do think we were the better team, but goals win games, and we didn't produce. So Raya made a very good reflex save from a close effort from Cunha. The dominance we had in this game in terms of chances, it's not good enough. We should have scored at least one and at least come away with a point, if not get the 3 points, but we didn't, and that is a problem. Goals win games, we didn't produce. Arsenal, scrappy goal, but this is what title contenders, even though they haven't won. This is a good sign for them. So yeah, disappointing that we didn't get the result, but goals win games and we got to do better. 1-0 Arsenal. Lastly, to finish off game week 1, we had Leeds United versus Everton, which I watched last night. A tale of two halves. Leeds dominated the first half and Everton, second half, I thought were a better team. I think arguably deserved a point in the end. They didn't get it. Nemecha, or I'm not sure how you pronounce that, came on as a new signing off the bench, converted a penalty. I feel like Everton really were terrible in the first half, like really, really poor. Second half, though, they were definitely more involved and on the ball and putting a lot of pressure on Leeds, but they dealt with it well, Leeds, and come away with the 3 points. The atmosphere was rocking, as you'd expect. I'm glad to see them back up. They play some decent football. They do look vulnerable at times, but they managed to get through it in this one. So, great opener for Leeds. The fans will be delighted. Everton have got a lot to work on. Grealish come on in the second half, but wasn't really on the ball a lot. Dewsbury Hall, I thought, was disappointing. So they got some work to do, Everton, and could be in that relegation scrap again. But new stadium this season, it's going to be interesting to see how they go about it. But they definitely need to wake up and fast. Great 3 points for Leeds. Congratulations. That is it for match week 1 review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be trying to do these every match week at the end. I'll try and fit these videos in. If the games aren't too thick and fast and I can't get time to film, I'll do as best as I can. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. Also, public service announcement of just the channel itself. My target is to get to 3,000 subscribers. I'm at about 2.5 at the moment, but I can only do it with your guys' help, and that is from subscribing, leaving a thumbs up. But make sure you're subscribing more than anything, because the target by the end of 2026 for me is to be at 3,000, if not 3,000 plus. So that's the target. I can only put it out there and hope that you guys enjoy the content and help me with it along the way. Just wanted to put that out there because I can't achieve it without you guys. So hope you enjoy it. I'll see you soon.